My name is Dr. Dersch, and I'm an anthropologist who works with Indigenous groups in the subarctic region of Alberta. Today I want to briefly discuss place-based Indigenous knowledge and the role it plays in understanding the implications of Canada's decision to kick Athabasca Chipewyan families out of Wood Buffalo National Park in the 1920s. Indigenous knowledge has been described by the academic Dersch as a cumulative body of knowledge, practice, and belief evolving by adaptive processes and handed down through generations by cultural transmission about the relationship of living beings with one another and with their environment. What I'm going to talk about today is how Indigenous knowledge is context-specific, meaning that it is tied to a certain place. Dene Tsuut'ina families living in Wood Buffalo National Park at the time the park was created would have known the area intimately well. They would have known areas where there was current in rivers that left the water open year-round so that they could set fish nets without having to chop through the ice. They would have known special natural topography on the landscape where they could ambush animals like bison, caribou, and moose. They would have known where springs were with drinking water and where rare medicinal plants could be found. They knew fish spawning areas, mineral licks that drew in animals, and the best acoustic locations to call moose from. They knew places to collect just the right size and shape of birchwood to build canoes, and which muskegs had the right moss for diapers. They knew the places on the landscape where their grandparents camped and where their great-great-grandparents camped. They knew where their ancestors' remains rested and other places that were imbued with special power. They knew every winter and summer trail and how to navigate the dangers of certain lakes and rivers. They knew the Dene name of every feature on the landscape, including features left by Pleistocene megafauna like giant beavers. This intimate knowledge of the landscape took since time immemorial to develop, and it was critical to the Dene Tsuut'ina way of life on the land. Now, imagine the federal government telling Dene Tsuut'ina families that they had to leave Wood Buffalo National Park. Although some of their Indigenous knowledge was transferable to a new landscape, like their knowledge of animal behavior and what plants were edible, their ability to derive their livelihood from the land and connect with their ancestors was upended. Hunger and hardship ensued as families scrambled to start from scratch in establishing new harvesting areas and homes. The outfall of this event can be seen today and contributes to the intergenerational trauma born out of this and other colonial practices. This act by Canada not only illustrated their lack of understanding of the Dene Tsuut'ina relationship with the land, but also showed that their priorities rested with protecting wood bison rather than living up to their promises to uphold treaty rights.